morning. We're in Juneau, Alaska at the Amalga Distillery. Well, I was worried about mispronouncing Amalga, and
Yeah.
what I do, I just butchered Distillery. This is a beautiful place, so when you're in Juneau, you need to come here. Now, Brandon,
Either.
I'm gonna get this right, I promise. Y'all supply a gin for Holland, America, is that correct?
We do, yeah. We deliver our gin that we make here on the still down to Holland, America. Yeah, all the boats that visit Juneau.
Now, the gin, all of the gin comes out of this
Yeah, this one little 300-gallon still.
little 300-gallon
Yeah,
still.
just running constantly. We also make a single malt whiskey. So gin and single malt whiskey are the only spirits that we make here. And yeah, we produce them all in the still. So it's running nonstop. I'm actually surprised that it's not running today.
Now, when it's running, I've been around whiskey distilleries or whiskey stills, and they thump.
Yeah, so whiskey stills, like bourbon stills, will actually have a little side still, a little mini guy called a thumper.
Okay.
That thumps. So everything that we make on this still. It's a Scottish style pot still, so it's all open. The beer, if we're making single malt or the gin maceration, rests in here, heated up, and alcohol just boils at a lower temperature than water, which allows it to be separated from the water. Travels up through the neck. That big column is a condensing unit. Cold water is running through pipes, and the spirit condenses onto the pipes inside of the condensing unit. Runs down through here. This is called spirit safe. It just lets us see what the proof is as it's coming off the still. A little sampling nozzle so that we can see where we are in the distillation process for making cuts, right? Both our gin and whiskey we make cuts on. And then it travels down into the basement. So you can see these pipes disappearing into the floor. And so right below this tasting room, we have a production area that has our brew house, that has our bottling lines, our canning lines. And so all of the wet, kind of dirty parts of the process happen down below, but what's really special is we get to have the production part that's really interesting right here in the tasting room. So that big oak cask is a 1,600-gallon fermentation tank. So that's where we ferment our beer for our whiskey. And then it connects underneath the floor so that we can pump it into the still here for distillation.
It's an amazing process. I have to tell you, you have an absolutely beautiful place here, and I thank you for your hospitality and letting us in and visit with you before you open. I was telling her, I wish we had locations like this in Kansas City or Little Rock, Arkansas, or Memphis, which is close to us. But the architecture, can you tell me real quick about the building?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so the building, beautiful building. It was built in 1934, really classic Art Deco style. You can see some of the chevron designs on the columns. And it was built by Alaska Electric Light and Power. And this was the building that you came to pay your electric bill, but it was also where you came to buy electrical appliances, right? So, electricity was a new hot thing here in Juneau, and in order to get people to consume electricity, Alaska Electric Light and Power wanted a place where people could come and buy things that ran on electricity. So you could get your electric stove here, vacuum cleaners, and so it was a beautiful showroom. It was this whole space. And so when we moved in, it had drop ceilings that covered these upper windows that are really beautiful and let in a lot of natural light.
So these are the original windows?
So all the original windows. So drop ceiling covered them, covered the beautiful beams on the ceiling. And so when we came in, our goal was just to strip it all back to what it was. So we pulled out the old commercial carpeting. We tore down all the walls that broke the space up. There were, I think, about 8 or 9 different offices in this space when we first came in. So we had to remove a lot and expose these columns. These columns had all been hidden behind walls and in offices. So the goal was to just, bring it back closer to its original state. And then I guess 3 years ago we purchased the building. And so our big goal now is to turn the building into a place that facilitates a lot of other community things, get tenants that are kind of along the same mission and focus as us, and while we do that, open up the rest of the building so that people can see the original architecture and how gorgeous it is. So we just finished renovation for our neighbors over there, and it really just highlights what a gorgeous space it is.
Really
yeah.
good. I'll tell you, they probably could have sold a lot more electrical appliances if they had also had the distillery.
Yes. Yeah.
So, but again, thank you for letting us come in, and I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What a treat.